my Instagram recently, I asked a question, what people wanted me for videos for this channel. And one of the responses I got back is how to prevent being swept, okay? Now, it could be a long answer or a short answer, so I'm going to try to do my best, okay? So first thing, if Eli puts me in his closed guard here, I need to know, being aware of what they have available helps, okay? Now, to avoid being swept, I need to keep my head behind my hips. So here, if Eli tries to pull me with his arms or his legs, go ahead. And I have good hands on him, go ahead, do stuff. Okay, he's gonna have to work for it, okay? Now, if my head is over my hips in any direction, go ahead. Okay, and now I'm not necessarily being swept, but that can lead to him sweeping me, him getting a grip, okay? So if you're in closed guard, I like to stay up high. Notice I'm on my toes, head up, back straight. From here, and if I put my hands on him, go ahead. I'm not gonna get swept right here. He can't even sit up to sweep me over. If he tries to sit up and hip bump sweep me, he's not gonna be able to, because I'm up too high, okay? Nothing's 100%, but when I'm in someone's closed guard, I tend to be head up, back straight. You know, my head, my hips are in line, and I'm on my toes. If the guy's a really flexible guard, really flexible closed guard, and I'm worried about getting all caught under a triangle, I'll stay low. But again, my head, my hips are in line here. Here, he can't really sweep me because I'm low. But it also depends how good they are in certain guards. So if I'm in open guard, for example, here is where you're really susceptible, to being swept. When I'm in open guard, he's got a good open guard, he can get under me quick. So here, I really have to stay low, head behind my hips. Now, if he goes to grab stuff, you know, I have the balance, and if he grabs my ankle really hard, I can pull it off. If I'm sitting up like this, and I'm in an off-balance stance, and he grabs my ankle, I'm about to get swept. He stopped, but I was about to get swept. So if you're playing open guard, you know, obviously, even before you pass, I tend to go one in, one out, so I can knee cut when I pass. But, you know, head up, back straight. I'll know when I have balance. When he goes to grab my foot here, I can pry it right off. If I'm off balance and I'm staggered like this and he grabs my foot, you saw what just happened there. So if you're choosing to open their guard, stand up to pass, and he's a spider guard, open guard player, head up, stay low, still open guard. But notice, this doesn't really change much from the closed guard other than I'm on my feet. Okay? My head, my hips always need to be in line. If one's compromised and I'm leaning over Eli, I'm going to get swept. Okay? Butterfly guard is another example. This is a great guard for getting under guys. So if I'm going to pass someone's butterfly, I tend to keep low as possible. I don't get on my toes here, because if I get on my toes here, it actually gives him more space. I don't want that. Okay, so here. Now, how I want to pass is up to me. Passes are a very certain preference. There's a million passes out there. But if I'm in this type of guard, again, I'm going to keep my head, my hips in line, and I'm going to flatten it. Because butterfly guard has no mobility on their back. And again, my head, my hips are in line. He's going to have a hell of a time. He's going to give himself a hernia if he tries to force a sweep right now. If he tries to load me up and sweep me, go ahead. I'm not even doing anything. I'm using gravity, which is my weapon here. We all have it when we're on top. Okay. Half guard's where it gets a little tricky. Okay, half guard, because some sweeps, if I come into him to control him, he's going to roll me over. Right? So I got to be careful about that. But in half guard, I don't want to disengage him either. So what I tend to do in half guard to prevent being swept is I sit on the bottom leg and I kind of see what he's going to do here. Again, my head's up, my back straight. He can't really sweep me from here. And if he goes to reach underneath to do something, you know, whatever he's trying to do, then I kind of wait for him. Okay? Then I can come here, get my underhook, my head, my hips are in line, I have good pressure, and he can't really get under me here. He can try. He can try reaching with either one of his arms to get under my legs or something. He's not going to get it. Okay? Because my head and my hips are in line. They always, in grappling, if you control one or the other, you tend to beat your opponent. So here, he's not controlling my head or my hips. If anything, I'm kind of controlling him a little bit. Not too much here, but again, I sit here, see what he's going to do. If he doesn't do anything, now I'm coming into a position where, again, my hips are low, my head's in line with them, and I'm defending the sweep here. Okay? No concept or technique is foolproof. Okay? I still get swept, but my percentages of getting swept have gone way down, just because keeping these principles. Keep your head and your hips in line. And it's going to be difficult for anyone to sweep you regardless of the position. You have to be aware of what's available in each position. And that just comes with training. But remember, always keep your head behind your hips. Keep your head and your hips in line. If you're off, in any direction, you're probably going to get swept in that direction. So just be aware of your balance points, your head and your hips, and your percentages of getting swept will go way down.